The members of the Jedi Council are often seen in the background, with Yoda and Windu often being the voices of the Council whenever they come to a decision. It can be easy to forget that there are 10 other powerful masters that sit in the circle and deliberate with them. Each of these council members are powerful and notable in their own respective ways, bringing something entirely new to the council. Although we aren't aware of their skills or prowess individually a lot of the time, we do find out the reasons why these masters sit upon the very apex of the Jedi Order, despite there being 10,000 Jedi Knights to choose from. It is always fascinating to analyze these council members' strength and see what makes them notable. In today's holocron, we are going to be discussing one of these such background characters that is more important than many give him credit for. Yarael Poof, distinguished by his long neck and often mistaken as a Kaminoan. Poof is a Quamarian Jedi Master who frequently got forgotten when considering the strongest of the Council. Where some might look to Oppo Rancisis as one of the finest lesser members, many are unfamiliar with the story of Yarael and how he saved the entire planet of Coruscant, as well as the galactic public before the Clone Wars ever broke out. So today, my friends, let's dive into the obscure and discuss the power, the legacy of Master Yarael Poof. But before we dive in, our mystics have sensed a great disturbance in the Force. Many of whom are watching have not yet subscribed, and we would hate for you to be left out of our daily uploads of Star Wars lore. So be sure to reach out and force crush that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you too may be enlightened. All jokes aside, my friends, thank you so much for the support, and let's get into this holocron. In actuality, there is not much to discuss when it comes to the beginning or the personal life of Yarael Poof. Like many other Jedi, it is assumed that he was found as an infant on Crimea and was raised at the Jedi Temple as an initiate, eventually passing the trials and ascending to the rank of Jedi Master. Likely one of the reasons we don't see him in the field much is because he chose the path of a Jedi Consular, opting to explore the deeper mysteries of the Force and resolve conflict by non-violent methods. He was a diplomat and a mystic, often making his appearances during council meetings or political gatherings. He would make his staple as one of the most politically involved Jedi Masters during the canon High Republic era, and was often holding the ear of many powerful chancellors and senators. At the time, this was Chancellor Lina So, and Master Poof, who said to embody what it meant to be true as a Jedi, was patient and wise, as well as being extremely compassionate, one of the greatest Jedi of his time. We might even say that Master Poof was more of a polar opposite to what we would see in Ki-Adi-Mundi, whereas Mundi was very strict to the Jedi Code to a fault, growing to perhaps even be slightly cold-hearted. Master Yarael honored the Jedi Code in its very essence, protecting life and allowing it to grow. On this note, he would often put the safety of innocence over missions given by the Council to him, going out of his way to pause what he was doing if someone needed his help. As far as his personal life in the temple went, Master Poof would train the Jedi Roar and Korob to knighthood, the Ithorian Jedi who would famously make a brave final stand against Grievous during the Battle of Coruscant. When it came to the Master's strength in the Force, Master Poof gained his notoriety for being extremely talented in the realm of the mind. In fact, it was said that of anyone on the High Council, Master Yarael had the strongest mind, even more powerful than that of Yoda. And this mind power doesn't mean telekinesis, but the ability to influence someone else's mind and affect it. This is essentially the umbrella term for which the classic Jedi mind trick would stem, but Master Yarael had perfected this one ability and taken it to the highest degree possible, being able to manipulate people's minds to project powerful force illusions at very little cost of his own energy. During one excursion, the Master was searching the lower levels of Coruscant on a mission. Eventually, he would come across a young child being chased by a group of teenagers, intending to harm him. The Jedi Master would then cast an illusion of a massive rancor behind the boy, terrifying all of the gang members into turning tail and running away as fast as possible. The Jedi would explain to the boy that those who are fearful lash out at others to make themselves feel safe, and all he did was help make their fears a little more visible. Just to be clear, Master Yarael used an extremely advanced technique to reach into the minds of 5 individuals, casting an illusion that only they could see, and he did so with ease. Master Poof was talented in the gifts of psychometry, as he was able to track down a force-imbued object by following its trail all throughout the underbelly of Coruscant. In fact, he was so powerful that Windu himself was originally going to take on this mission, but it was turned over to Master Yarael for this very reason. While the Jedi Master did prefer to solve things non-violently and through the use of his mind tricks, there comes a time when all Jedi must brandish their lightsaber. And although his lightsaber was seldom used, he was no weakling with the blade. Wielding a long-handed blue greatsaber, the Jedi Master could deflect blaster fire masterfully from multiple opponents, while also simultaneously disarming, dismembering, and even beheading assassins. It's more than likely that the Jedi Master was using Form 6 9-Man, as he also mixed in force-based attacks with his saber movements, and preferred more direct and simplistic movements with his saber, which kept his options open. Despite his tall and lanky form, Yarael moved with surprising speed, able to cross a gap between himself and a blaster-wielding opponent in a single bound, dismembering the man before his finger could squeeze the trigger. The Jedi Master's feats and death would all unfortunately occur in the Legends comic run Zam Wesell, which takes place many years prior to the events of Attack of the Clones. In the comic, a radicalized Anundat general by the name of Ashar Korda had declared a personal war on the Republic and had stolen a Force artifact in order to bring about the Republic's destruction. Having hired Jango Fett to retrieve the artifact, the bounty hunter would learn from Zam that it was a Force-powered idol which contained a stored wealth of Force energy. When released, this power had the potential to cause the same destruction as a massive bomb. Korda planned on planting the idol in one of Coruscant's power cores to overload it, and cause a chain reaction which would ultimately completely annihilate the capital world, crippling the Republic there. After some coercion, Jango Fett would eventually agree to help save Coruscant. At this time, Master Yarael was given the mission by the Council to hunt down the artifact and to stop this event from occurring. Jango, Zam, and Master Yarael would all converge at the same point on Coruscant's reactor cores in order to battle the Mad General, as well as his men, to stop the event from occurring. Despite not knowing or really trusting one another, the Jedi Master and the bounty hunters worked together to stop the terrorists, with the event ending by way of the Jedi Master cutting the hand off of Korda with the attack that severed the hand that we mentioned earlier. The Jedi then began to use the Force to pull the idol out of the reactor, but while he was focusing, Korda stabbed him in the stomach with a knife. Jango executed the general with a volley of blaster shots, while Zam saved the overloaded idol from falling into the reactor's abyss. With his final breath, Yarael Poof would use the last of his strength to recontain the energy of the idol, not allowing it to explode, and would eventually pass on through the Force. Jango and Zam would be the only ones to witness the death of this great Jedi Master, and would eventually go to return the idol where it belonged, honoring him. Although the Council would have no idea who helped him, they all acknowledged that he saved trillions of lives that day, as well as the Republic itself with his bravery, and he was given a traditional Jedi funeral. He would be succeeded on the Jedi High Council by the much less accomplished Coleman Trebor by the time of the Clone Wars' very beginning, as he assumed Yarael Poof's seat. And this, my friends, was the power and works of the Jedi Council member, Yarael Poof. Tell us, did you know anything about the Jedi Master prior to this holocron? And let us know if you'd like to see more of these quick reviews of the Jedi Council members as we learn more. As always, my friends, thank you so much for visiting the channel and the archives today. Let us all have the love and compassion of this Jedi Master for one another, and may the Force be with you.